try before we die.
Hey everybody, it's Whiskey, today's fact, WTF. So we're not going to visit a distillery or a region today. We're actually going to spend some time answering a simple question that I get asked quite a bit. Colin, how did you get your start in Scotch whiskey? And where do you learn about these things? And I usually ask people to sit down and we grab a bottle and I try to answer it over several hours. But for today's short series, I will answer it this way. I was introduced to the idea by my father-in-law, who said, you're interested. And I said, I am interested. And I thought for sure he'd pour me a drink. And what he actually did was hand me a book. He said, you're going to want to read this. Now, he did pour me a drink too, but he handed me a book and said, you're going to want to read this. So I read that book. And then he said, have you read this book? I said, oh boy. And I read that book. Then I sourced another book and another book. And I felt like, yeah, I'm learning some things and I'm having some drinks. This isn't all one night, by the way, everybody. And then I came across the book. Michael Jackson, who is the godfather of whiskey knowledge and has a series of books out there and reviews. And he enlightened the whiskey world to me. And so between the books and my father-in-law and having glasses of whiskey, I began to understand what the Scotch whiskey world is. And if you see behind me, there are 80 or so open bottles. And there is not one that is identical to the other. There is so much to learn in this world. And that is why if you do your research, you will find more books than I have here. In fact, we have more books here than are here. And so I got my start by being curious and reaching out to somebody who I knew more than me. And that's what you should do too. Go to the people who have already learned what you're trying to learn. That's how learning takes place. So there's my short answer of how I got my start in Scotch whiskey. And that's whiskey, today's fact, the water of life.